Hello and welcome back to another Xero Linux video. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the various tools that I have created for during the past couple of months. But before we start, don't forget to like the video if you like it, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and consider letting us know what you think in the comments. With that out of the way, let's begin. First off, I want to talk about the new AI transparency statement I added to the wiki. I am not the one who created the tools, I'm the one with the ideas, but with the code execution was created with various AI tools like Claude, OpenCode, and so on and so forth. So not all of them have, some of them. So the statement reads as follows. The tools available on this page may have been fully or partially developed with the assistance of generative AI. As a distro maintainer rather than a developer, I sometimes rely on AI to help write bash scripts and small Linux utilities that would otherwise be beyond my skill set. Every tool here has been personally tested on my own system before being made available. I do not share anything I haven't run myself. That said, I may not fully understand every line of code internally, and I think it's only fair you know that before using anything here. Use these tools at your own discretion. They are provided as is, and while I stand behind their tested functionality, the underlying code may be AI assisted. I am not a developer by any stretch of the imagination, but I do understand code, so I am able to review what AI generates. I'm not going to ship a broken tool to you guys that will break your systems. I test them, I send them to other people to test on their own machines before I can publish them for you all to use. Okay? With that said, let's start showing off the tool. First tool will be the customization hub. This will work on any Arch-based system, be it CachyOS, Xero Linux, EndeavourOS, and so on and so forth. So this is a cross-Arch-based distro compatible. How do you install it, or how do you use it? You just make sure you have the dependencies installed. Then you copy-paste this command into terminal. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna hit enter. Here's your tool. What is this tool? This one is an all-in-one kind of thing. It will allow you to apply my rice. So this is the KDE Plasma rice, and this is the Dracula Cosmic rice. If you are using Cosmic, you use this one. If you're using KDE, you use that one. And you have the various grub themes. You click, you preview the grub theme, and then if you, whichever one you like, once you hit the install button, it's gonna launch a script, git clone the repo, and then run the install script. And then you select the name of whichever one you like. Like if you like Tron, you select Tron. If you like Daft Punk, you select Daft Punk, and so on and so forth. So it's a grub theme selector thing that you can apply. Scripts and tools, basically you click launch. For example, this is the chaotic AUR tool. It will allow you to enable the chaotic AUR, disable it, and check out the about devs. You can check out the various packages they have on their repo. You search for, let's say, you see that they have Ferdium and Ferdium Nightly. You select the package, you see more information. It won't allow you to install from here. You have to run the command in terminal, sudo pacman-s, and the name of the package. You see the name of the package here, ferdium-bin, and so on and so forth. Build status will let you see if their latest push has succeeded or failed or canceled, to keep an eye out on the status of the chaotic AUR repo. Deployments, you see on what server around the globe they are available, and you check out about the team and various information. Neat little tool I felt like creating. As for this one, I'm not gonna launch it, but this allows you to enable and apply a Plymouth animation, a boot animation on your system. Simple as that. It allows you to install various boot animations from the AUR, chaotic AUR by extension, and apply said animation and enjoy it on every boot. Yeah, that's it for this tool. This is just a simple starter customization hub for your KDE system or Cosmic, but yeah. So let's go to the other tool. What else? The kernel scheduler tool. The Kernel Scheduler tool, of course, it's a comprehensive GUI application for managing your SCAD ext CPU schedulers for Arch Linux. If you want to know more about what each scheduler does, it's in the SCX info, which I will show you in a bit, but features live scheduler switching, switch between SCADX BPF CPU scheduler on the fly, real-time monitoring, persistent support, multiple modes, kernel compatibility check, and so on and so forth. How do you use it? You install these dependencies, of course, and this one as well you can run on any Arch-based distro. You just copy the link, paste it in terminal and run it. But on XeroLinux, since that's what I'm using, it's installed as a package. It shows you that your kernel, I'm currently running the CachyOS kernel, but it shows you if it's supported or not, current status, it shows you which one you have enabled, and if you want to select whichever one, you select it here. I'm using Cosmos, and you set it to whatever, gaming, low latency, power save, and if you want to persist, you persist here, and then you start or stop scheduler, and you can refresh the list here. And the second tab shows you the various flags you can use, but to use them you have to use command line instead of the tool itself. Maybe in the future I'll make it modifiable by the tool itself. I don't know, but for right now, it shows you what command you need to run. This is for the more advanced users. This tab, it shows you how you can use it in a more advanced fashion. As for the SCX info, like I said earlier, if you want to know what each scheduler does, you go over here and you read about it. Once you decide which one you want to run, you do it over here. Very simple little tool, very straightforward. It's for you guys to enjoy. It brings XeroLinux a little bit, or your distribution of choice, closer to CachyOS. That's why I love Arch more than any other distro. Another tool, Howdy QT. Now this one is an interesting one. Howdy QT is for those of you out there who have a compatible camera or as Windows Hello IR camera. So this will allow you to no longer have to enter your password either in terminal or, as you can see here, login, KDE screen lock, sudo terminal, pkexec, and polkit. Whichever you enable, you don't use the password there. But it's a front end for Howdy, but you gotta read the caution over here. I'll link to this page in the description below, so you can read everything. But suffice it to say that Howdy, the backend tool that we are using, was abandoned ages ago in 2020. The developer just walked away from the project and hasn't updated it since. There are, however, contributions to the project from time to time by other maintainers. That's why I needed to add this warning. And you can expand on that yourself if you are interested. The source code is available. And I need to thank Marco M for contributing some of the ideas to the tool. It allows you to use your face cam, webcam, IR cam to authenticate system-wide. So it's got test face recognition, SDDM Plasma Login Manager support for KDE, manage face models, disable Howdy globally, select and preview camera device, toggle face authentication per service, sudo, login, polkit, etc. For this one, you have to be on XeroLinux. There is no way around it. I cannot give you access on any other Arch-based distro because it's packaged and I couldn't find a way to ship it so anyone can use it on any Arch-based distro. I'm sorry, this is a limitation. If you're using XeroLinux and would like to use this is how you do it. You just install the Xero Howdy QT, and I made sure all the appropriate dependencies are included so you don't encounter any issues. To show you the tool, so once you launch it, it's gonna require you to enter your password to launch it because it needs sudo privileges. But as you can see, I already have one face registered. If you want to test recognition, you can test it here. I cannot click it because OBS is using the webcam, but you can enable it for Plasma Login Manager. It will automatically detect if you're using SDDM or Plasma Login Manager. If you're using SDDM, it will show you the setting for SDDM. If you're using PLM, it will show you the PLM option. Since I'm using PLM, it shows me that option. KDE screen lock, this is when you lock your screen, but for those two, you'll have to hit enter on your keyboard first. on an empty password field, then it will initiate the face recognition and it will automatically log you in. Sudo, it's self-explanatory. Instead, whenever you need to run, like, for example, sudo pacman-syyu, instead of typing your password, the camera will get enabled, scan your face, your registered face after registering it here, and it will authenticate without having to type the password. As for the pkexec pull kit, this is the most important one. If you enable it, there will be a disclaimer. Warning, disclaimer. I cannot zoom in on that, sorry. But it will tell you the most important part, the security implications. The Pullkit agent helper process will no longer run in a device-isolated sandbox. This is required for camera access, but reduces the isolation of the Pullkit authentication helper. Enable it only if you agree. I made sure that this disclaimer is in place because I didn't want people to enable it blindly and become less secure. But if you're the only one who uses your computer or you don't care about security, enable it. Enable it at your own risk, but I will not enable it. So, and that idea, I need to thank Marco M for this idea to put the disclaimer, because better safe than sorry. So that's the Howdy toolkit. EFI Boot Manager. What is EFI Boot Manager? Well, EFI Boot Manager is just a simple GUI that allows you to manage your various EFI boot entries, the low-level EFI boot entries. This is not Grub. This is not a boot manager like Grub. It's the low-level EFI boot manager. I created the tool to simplify the tasks so you don't have to use the terminal. You use a GUI instead, and I made it very simple. I didn't want to add system-breaking features. There are other EFI boot managers out there on the AUR. I tested them. They expose way too much to you, the user, and that's dangerous in my mind. So I thought, why not just simplify the tools that currently exist and create one that only gives you enough access without completely breaking the system. So it's got, the features are delete unwanted boot entries, enable or disable individual boot entries, reorder entries and apply custom boot order, confirm dialogues to prevent accidental damage, accidental changes, that's very important, view all EFI boot entries with OS specific icons. Also, this one you have to be on XeroLinux to use. The source code to all these tools is available on GitHub. If you want to fork and modify and use to your own ends, no problem, but please follow the GPL v3. Don't remove our names from the Git repo, not the tool, but you're free to remove our names from the tool. It's up to you, but as long as you give credit where credit is due, we're okay with that. That's the nature of FOSS. But yeah, EFI Boot Manager is this one. So as you can see, it shows my system with the fallback. Windows, yes, I do have Windows in dual boot on a separate drive because I need it for some tasks. So it's always good to have Windows as a dual boot. The others are just stale boot entries. I cannot delete those. I tried deleting them, it broke boot. So be careful what you do. Warning, use this at your own risk. Might break boot if used incorrectly. I put the warning there. If you ignore it and you break your system, don't come crying to me. Simple tool, useful for those who are not very familiar with the CLI version of the tool. Next tool and final tool, PHP Server GUI. What is that? I write pages in PHP. Like when you go to download XeroLinux, when you go to the authentication page, I need to preview that on my own system. So I had a need for something, so I created a tool to satisfy that need. You install this tool and it will allow you to start and stop the PHP server, either in a new directory or in an existing directory. And it will show you the live log over here, and that's it. So PHP server, like I have an existing folder. It's in Xwork, HTML, mirror. You select the folder, you click open, and you click start server. It will start the server. It will show you that it's running on which port, localhost 8000. And then you go to this location and you preview the site. That's it. And once you're done, you click stop, you close, you're done. Simple tool. Necessity is the mother of all creations. So I needed something, so I created a tool to satisfy that something. With that being said, let me know in the comments below what do you think of all these tools. There will be more coming in the future, of course. Those tools are mainly and primarily made for Xero Linux because that's the distro that I maintain and use. So if you use on your own system, you use them at your own risk. Keep that in mind. All right, this is the end of the video. And if you feel like donating, helping support the project, or want to donate to it just for the sake of donating, helping us reach the $2,000 goal. This time is a $2,000 goal because, in case you did not know, well, there's shit happening out there. There's a conflict. I'm not gonna name it by its actual name, but I'm just gonna call it a conflict that's going on out there. Your support matters, and there's no such thing as too little or too much. All right, the links are in the description. Everything will be in the description as usual. And with that, I say God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.